I bet that wasn't so bad, was it?
I decide when she goes home. Yeah, why? Were you expecting something else?
You've managed to keep this one alive.
Want sugar with that?
Well, it's not exactly my first rodeo.
Said, stay there!
I think your fan adjusted.
You're sharp as a tack, PC Tinker.
Got it?
Like the cowardly little nobody you really are.
Sorry. I've got more innocent people to arrest. You want me to spoil the ending?
If you haven't heard about this, 7th of July, it kicked off to the 13th of July. There is a crazy brand new endeavour being undertaken by the guys over at Conversation Street Podcast. And to talk to us now, one half of Gemma and Michael. Gemma, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, what the hell are you doing? What have you done?
What did I do? What did I get myself into?
Yeah.
Now, this is something I've been wanting to do for years. Because when we first started doing our podcast over 10 years ago, I was like, when is soap day? There must be a day for soaps. We can do something for that. And I realised that nobody'd done one. And so for ages I was like, oh, should I make one? Am I that audacious? I don't know. But you know, after a while, when nobody else did it, I thought, let's just do it, because I love soap fans. I love soaps. I like to celebrate the creativity of soap fans, and also like how important soaps are in our lives and how much they can change our perspectives. We learn about new people, new ideas, and also like all the charities that they represent. And I just thought how to bring all that together would be a week-long celebration of soaps and soap fans, and like the power of soaps to make positive change in the world. So that's what I really want everyone to do. So it's like, it starts on the 7th of July on a Monday, goes all the way through to the Sunday the 13th, and each day has got a different theme. So like we've got Wicked Wednesday and Foodie Friday, so you can join in on social media. Go to soap-week.com, and each day's got its own little blurb and about what to do and how to celebrate, and use the hashtag Soap Week if you're posting online about it. You can also find the account, it's called @SoapWeekTime, that's on Twitter and Instagram.
But you've also announced Webster's Walk. Because Soap Week wasn't big enough of a task to undertake in just under a month.
I should have started earlier.
Tell us all about it.
Oh, there's a bit of controversy, I think, because I think that Michael and I aren't sure whether it's Webster's Walk or Walk for Webster.
Ooh.
I think Michael wants it to be Walk for Webster, but I keep saying Webster's Walk. So either way.
Well, we've got Webster Watch, so Webster Walk kind of just rolls off the tongue for me.
It's basically going to start in St John's Gardens on the 12th, 11 o'clock in the morning, and that is near where the old set was. So what we're doing is we're going to do like a couple of hours where we walk through and look at some of the filming locations that Corrie's done. There's about 6 or 7 on the route to Media City.
What's the most exciting thing on the route?
Oh gosh, I think maybe now this is gonna sound thrilling. The wall near where Paul fell over. The graffiti wall, it actually is really cool, but yeah, that's where Paul when he went out on his own, and he was suffering with MND, and he takes a tumble, and that is a really kind of striking area along the side of the canal. So that's one of the bits. I think there's a place called Cropper's Corner, which is part of the canal that they actually show on the the bumpers between the adverts. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to one of those. Michael's the expert on this because he's put together the big map that we've got on our website, which has got all the filming locations that we can think of. So if anyone's ever interested in where so and so happened, it might very well be on the map. And I also have to give a shout out to the Coropedia guys, because they've really helped us with that, putting that together. So it's going to be a fun little day out.
See, I might have to do a shout out to some of our listeners to see if anyone is going and can get me on an iPad, carry me around.
Yes.
Because that's the only way I'm going to get
really
there.
Cool. I mean, yeah, you guys can join us if you like. I'd love it. We genuinely didn't think anyone would come, but we've had quite a few people saying they're going to come along. But also, you guys can like do your own charity stuff, like bake cakes or do a watch-a-thon or run. It doesn't have to be even anything choreo related.
Yep.
Anything that if you've got like a charity that you think that you would like to support, M&D would be a really good one. We did donate quite a lot to those, and I know that Peter Ash, who plays Paul, has done some fundraising for them as well. But you know, lots of the actors will have like a charity that they're a patron of. So if you are a fan of a particular actor or character, there's definitely going to be something that you could raise money for if you want to. I would love to be able to say at the end of the week, like, soap fans raised X amount of money. So
I'm sure that once the week kicks off, you'll get heaps more support
hopefully,
and heaps more donations.
yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I just really, I want to bring everyone together in a community and celebrate soaps as a genre, and how powerful they are and how much they affect us. Like, did you see at Glastonbury there were some flags with like EastEnders characters on them? Like, they're still part of our popular culture, and I think that we need to kind of like be proud of it. You know, we're proud of so many other silly things. And it's not just the British soaps. Like any soap, I don't know very much about the other soap, but I want everyone to join in because it is supposed to be International Soap Week. So,
What have you had so far? Has anyone like surprised you with anything so far?
well, you guys surprised me with all of the stuff that you did. You've been amazing making the videos. The support, honestly, from the other podcasts and the fandom has been fantastic. I wasn't expecting much, to be honest with you, but people have been so gracious with their time, and you, like, the videos you made, look, just me and Michael were talking about it, like, how did that happen? It's amazing. So I'm just so proud of everybody. I think it's great. It hasn't really kicked off yet because we're waiting, you know, for the start of it. But I'm really hoping everyone gets stuck in. My ideal thing, I would love for next year, like, to not be involved. That would be the ideal thing because everyone gets into it. Like, I'm not precious about it. It's
And
not
just let
mine.
it take off and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not my thing. It's everyone's thing. I would love people to like run away with it. You know, steal it off me.
Yep.
That would be brilliant.
What I'm really excited about, tell me about the pub quiz.
So what we've planned, completely coincidentally, we were going to be in Manchester anyway on that week. So we're going to come back on the Sunday. So we're going to have to race back from Southampton to be able to put this pub quiz on. And I'm kind of like hoping Michael will do a lot of this, but the idea is probably to do just like a live streamed pub quiz with lots of different questions about all the different soaps. So it's going to be really hard to get the questions right, I think, because I don't want it to be intimidating and you feel like you don't know anything. But equally, it can't be so easy that if you've just watched the soap once, you know all the answers. So It's all about collaboration and community this week, and celebrating what we love and joining together to do something really fun and positive. So are you planning? Have you got any plans for the week? Have you got any things you want to do?
Yeah, so what we were going to do is we were going to get an online poll happening and we were going to ask people to vote, and then we were going to do a bit of a live stream reveal of the winners.
Oh, that's really cool. Is that for the Saturday?
Yeah, I think it is for the Saturday. Yep.
Yeah, because we got the fan each day, like I said, is a different one. So yeah, everyone can join in. Who would you have on your Wicked Wednesday? Have you got any villains in mind?
Ooh,
I love the villains on Corrie. I think we love Pat Phelan. I love Uncle Stephen. I think that how camp and silly they are is just part of the appeal for me. I love Mad Maya as well. She was fantastic.
Oh, they can still bring her back.
I know. We actually contacted the actress to see if she wanted to do an interview, and she was very graciously declined because she was busy. But I was like, you must know that we love you and we want you to come back, please.
I don't even know if you know the character, but when Toya was charged with murdering Imran, her lawyer.
Yes, I know who you mean.
Kim Wallace.
Yes,
I love her.
Apparently she was really lovely.
Well, I just started my own little campaign of I want her back because I think Lisa Swain needs a friend, and I think that Kim Wallace could be her friend. Anyway, it took off, and then Kim was messaging us back and trying to get Jonathan Harvey to write her back in. And
yes, that would be really cool.
I would love her to come back. She's fantastic. But I didn't realise she's only actually in 4 episodes.
Yeah, because it was really traumatic, wasn't it, for Toya? Because there was that, wasn't she like having the scenes cast onto the wall or something when she was remembering what happened? I can't remember, but it was.
I think that was Roy.
Very, very intense. Oh yes, you're right.
Yep.
It was too intense for me. I've just merged it all together in one.
You've just blocked it all out because you didn't want Imran to die.
No, I couldn't believe it when I was watching it. I was like, oh.
Like, no.
He's fine. He's fine. Like in my head, he's actually in witness protection. I think I said this on the podcast before. He's in witness protection.
Yep.
It was all a ruse. He was working on a super secret case, and he's going to be back. So don't worry about it.
The same theory is in play in the Swala universe because everyone seems to think that Becky is in witness protection and she'll be back.
Yes.
I do not want that. We do not want that to happen.
This is the trouble, though. You speak things into existence. This is what I say. Sometimes I have theories, and I don't say them on the podcast because it's like manifesting with your words.
Mm-hmm.
I am also thinking that now the buzz is around Becky, that she might. It's just too tempting for the writers, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
And they know that they would get a reaction out of everybody.
I know. And they don't seem to care whether we're happy or just pissed off. They don't care as long as there's a reaction.
Yes.
I just want them to stop making her cry.
Well, do you remember we have our Weatherfield Waterworks Awards when we do the Bobbins Awards at the end of every year, and it's always a woman obviously that wins. But if you're a good actress on Coronation Street, what they do is they give you trauma, they make you cry, and they dehydrate you.
Once they know you can cry on cue,
yes,
that's
exactly.
all you'll be doing.
Basically, yeah. So there's so many things that Swala fans could get involved with during the week. So like Monday is a really great way to introduce yourself as a soap fan and say like what your watching tradition is, because I bet there are people that are only watching Corrie because they love Swala, but I also think there must be loads of Swala fans who've been Corrie watchers for a long time, so that would be really cool to see that. And the foodie Friday, I mean, we know that Lisa loves a kebab and that Carla loves sushi, so maybe you could make that.
Well, she does enjoy making shakshuka randomly on a Wednesday morning wearing a white shirt.
Right. That's a really good recipe, actually. Yeah, that's a great recipe for Friday. And then you got Throwback Thursday, which is like, a tribute to a character that's no longer with us. Maybe Becky could be on Throwback Thursday.
Because she's definitely no longer with us.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
And then Fan Day on the Saturday. But like anything that you do as a fan that's creative, like if you've got a tattoo or you've got like you've done some fan art, or I know that there are some prolific writers in the Swala fandom who do the fanfics. If you can share it without melting people's eyes, please do. That would be very fun.
I'm sure everyone will get involved.
Yes.
Because it seems like a lot of fun and I can't wait. So yeah, make sure you use the hashtag SoapWeek to get involved. And for anyone that wants to donate, there are links on the webpage. Yeah,
there's a link on the page to, there's like a charity page on there about what we're doing. And also like how to set your own fundraiser up as well if you want to do that. That would be awesome. I think that'd be really cool. But we'll take donations as well. I'm not sure what other people are doing at the moment, but I'm hoping that people will join in on that, because that's like kind of the bit that excites me the most, really, is showing, like, I think people kind of, when you say, oh, I watch Corrie or something, people sometimes will be like, but if you can, I think that soap fans are so much more than that. We're all so passionate and like funny and clever and excited, and like we all got our theories and we work stuff out. It's such an active fandom, and it like exercises your brain, and it teaches you about new experiences. Like I always think about the character of Hayley from Coronation Street, and I really think that like trans rights wouldn't be anywhere in this country without that character. You look at what's happening now with rights and everything, and you think characters like Hayley and soaps have got the power to kind of change social discourse.
They really
do. And that is something that really is underestimated. So let's show everybody, let's prove it, let's celebrate.
There was actually a random stat that said that if you wanted to get a message out in Australia, it would be more effective to use Carl and Susan from Neighbours than to use a Hemsworth brother.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yes, it's true. It is true. I believe,
because they're there all the time. You
feel like you know them. You genuinely do. Yes,
you really do.
I think that's because soaps are so much more than just a program you watch every day or however long. So yeah, I think that people underestimate soaps, but they're not going to after Soap Week.
I'll be honest, I was one of those people, and it was in the middle of COVID.
Oh yeah,
because
you had a lot of time on your hands.
Well, I actually didn't, because I was working, because I work in news. So I was doing news non-stop all day, every day. It was like, it was just, it was relentless.
That must have been horrible.
You're just seeing bad shit all day, every day, all day, every day. But then I'd come home and I'd watch true crime, because that was my thing. and at one point I ran out of it, and I thought,
I've seen all the crimes.
I've seen all of them. I know this one. I know what's going to happen.
I know who did it.
Exactly. And one of my friends that I used to work with was actually hired as a director on Neighbours. And so I thought, okay, I've run out of true crime. I'll watch her episodes. And it just so happened it was like their lesbian story that she was directing, and it was actually quite good. Like they brought this new character in, and I really liked her. So that actually hooked me, and that brought me to a New Zealand soap, which then brought me to Emmerdale, which brought me to Corrie, and and now I just like kind of watch them all.
So you're like you're going to be like a really important person in my arsenal for Soap Week then, if you can post about the other soaps, because I know I've got this massive blind spot of every other soap.
Yep.
It's just really hard to keep up with them all, isn't it? Because there's especially how many hours is that a week? And you do the podcast.
Yeah, and I work. I don't have time to do the podcast, to be honest. I don't even know how we do it.
Yeah, because you're yakkers like we are, aren't you? Your podcasts are quite long, and I love that. Yeah, why not?
It was never the intention, but then people were just like, "Oh, we like the longer the better." And we're like, "Okay, really? All right."
Yeah, it's just like listening to friends, isn't it? When you've got a podcast like that, and people are chatting away about something, it's just like listening to your friends, and I think it's comforting to people too. So yeah.
I mean, we just started it basically because it was just a perspective that no one else was talking about. And like, we didn't intend to like talk about Swallow like for 3 hours every week. It was just, we just wanted like, you guys were like, you didn't even like mention Swain's belly button ring. So it was like, well, we're just going to have to do it ourselves.
Exactly. If you're not going to do it, then I will. That
kind of queer perspective that like you guys, and even if you tried, you wouldn't be allowed to get away with the stuff that we get away with. So
well, it's like, it's a perspective that you can't speak to, and I try to, but it's why would I, when you guys can do it? I'm not going to talk for other people, but when I saw that there was a Swallow podcast, I was like, this is amazing. I cannot believe this, because it just shows how like the diversity of fans. I think it's fantastic that there is a podcast for Swallow. That is great. I was so thrilled.
I was really surprised that a lot of the people that listen to us are like late 30s, 40s, 50s, some even older, and a lot of them really smart, and like they're professional, and they were just like, well, this doesn't exist, like no one's doing this, and we don't get to like listen to this chat anywhere else. So
I've noticed that about Swallow fans I've seen on Twitter generally seem to be like super switched on, very emotionally intelligent. I know that there's like an element, but there's an element of every fandom. I think it's silly to pretend otherwise. But like so empathetic and like really intuitive, and like you said, smart, and also kind of skewed a bit more, a bit older, which I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, that really surprised me. That was the one thing. And there's a lot of listeners that didn't watch soaps before. Like it just brought them in.
Right.
Which is
I've seen
awesome.
that. I've seen a few people not really get that Corrie isn't just about Lisa and Carla, which is quite funny. It's like, I'm really sorry to tell you that you might end up having to wait a bit for the next Carla and Lisa scene.
Yep. Well, thank you for talking to us. Thank you for coming on and spruiking the week. You're an insanely audacious idea.
You got to shoot for what do they say? Shoot for the moon and land on your face.
Aim for the moon.
Shoot for the stars and land on the moon.
Yeah, there we go.
You will die if you do that, but okay, it's just Soap Week. It's not that serious.
But we'll go down in a blaze of glory. How about that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to help me, just spam Soap Week, just every day. That would be fantastic. But at the end of the day, if no one's interested, then I've still got 3 years of trying to convince you. Come back
I
next year.
think you'll find that once Soap Week gets underway, you will have a lot of people that are involved and donating, and I think that next year it'll be massive.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, yeah, I was like, I want to get it on listed at least on one of those websites that tells you what, oh, today's International Donut Day. We've got to get it on there. We've got to do it first.
International Soap Week. I love it.
Yes,
I love it. It's great.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you
so much.
and good luck.
Finally, you're going home. I decide when she goes home.
Is this going to take long?
It'll take as long as it takes.
You need to let her go.
Wait there. Let me find the key. You're free to go.
Why?
Because I'm a supervising officer and I say so.